it's Amy Sell. So my thoughts today have been around social media and, all of its various forms and, what it does for us and to us emotionally. And, this has come from my own experience and, in talking with friends. And it's that emotional roller coaster that happens when we're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or in the news, whatever it may be, just that constant inundation of people's lives, snapshots of people's lives and articles and newsreels and you name it. Like, we are definitely not lacking information. And I know that there is a tendency to get a little overwhelmed by a lot of it and just kind of want to walk away. And I think that's fantastic if anybody wants to step away from that, because I think you get a bigger perspective. But let's talk about if you're on it and you are not wanting to step away, how can I use social media to work on my emotional wellness? And it's all comes down to triggers. So here's how it looks. You're scrolling through Facebook and there's a political post and all of a sudden you're angry. You're angry over what's being presented to you. Those are the things you start to notice is what are the posts that are coming up that are making you angry. And there is a lot of justification sometimes that happens when we're like, well, I'm angry because of blah, 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 and this and that. However, you and I could be sitting right next to each other and scrolling through the same post, and all of a sudden you're upset about an article on Trump, and I didn't even hit my radar. So this is what I'm talking about. We talked about the emotional sack. Whatever we get emotionally upset about, that is where we start to understand where we have a little bit of work to do on our emotional wellness. And I think actually Facebook is a beautiful tool to know what you need to start working on first. Maybe it's jealousy. Like if you scroll through and you see somebody, presenting a life that looks desirable to you and you start to feel jealous. That is okay. Feel jealous. I mean, there's no reason to deny feeling jealous. But what's behind jealousy is just somewhere where you haven't allowed yourself to have what you wanted. Now, does it have to look like the vacation that somebody else is taking? No. But maybe it's just an hour of downtime to yourself. Maybe it's a night out. Whatever it may be, it's just jealousy is just something that behind it is somewhere where we're just not giving ourselves what we want. And then we see other people doing things that look desirable and jealousy shows up. So this is how you approach it, is you go through and whatever comes across that bothers you, instead of putting it on what you're seeing, you stop and you take a minute and you're like, whoa, why is that bother me? Emotional wellness is a lot of questioning, a lot of questions for yourself. And you listen, you just ask the question and you start to pay attention. And your answers will show up in all sorts of avenues, whether it's a friend, an article, just a thought that pops in your head. And a lot of times it's not going to pop into your head right away. It could be several days later while you're doing the dishes. But if we're not asking ourselves the questions and we're not taking responsibility for how we're reacting, we will never move through why those things triggered us in the first place. So use social media as a tool for moving into a better state of emotional wellness. And, posts that make you angry, posts that make you jealous, posts that make you sad, they are all triggers for you to find out what needs attention at this very moment. And then you just ask the question, why am I sad? Why am I angry? And just be willing and open to let that come to you in a very natural way. This takes practice. This takes, this takes doing this over and over again. And then you start to understand how you get answers. I get answers a lot back actually through Facebook, because I will ask a question and boom, I'll hit on the right quote or the right article or something, or it'll be a book I'm reading. A lot of times it's from my friends, but most 90% of the time my information comes through the written word, because that's kind of where I'm always at, is in the written word, whether it's online or in a book. So I think that's how I know personally I'm going to get it, because that's where I am at most of the time. So pay attention, like how you're getting your, how are you getting your answers? Do they pop in your head? Do they come from a friend? Do they come from a book? Do they come from a movie? You could be watching a movie and all of a sudden something in the movie, if you're asking the right questions, will be like, pa-pow. You'll understand that connection. So in all of this social media, bombardment, I say use it as a tool for helping you move through your emotional triggers, and just see what happens. Ask the questions, see what happens. All right, guys, have a great week, rest of the week, and stay dry. See you later.